Now, here's just a little bit of what we're dealing with. Paula wrote into the show because she says that she is at her wit's end. She says her perfect daughter, Kylie, mysteriously developed an eating disorder when she was just 12 years old.
My daughter, Kylie, has suffered from an eating disorder since she was 12 years old. Kylie literally starved herself for 2 years. First, it was anorexia, and then she started the binging. She was about 5'6" and well below 100 pounds. She, at this point, doesn't care if she lives or dies.
Kylie says mysterious. There's nothing mysterious about this. She says her mom is to blame.
My mom is the reason I have an eating disorder. She'd buy me laxatives all the time. She taught me how to throw up. My mom definitely has an eating disorder. She still throws up all the time.
Well, in addition to having an eating disorder, Paula says her daughter abuses drugs and alcohol. She blames Kylie's friends for her wild ways.
When Kylie was 14, she got in with the wrong crowd. Kylie has smoked a great deal of marijuana, has done X, tried heroin. She would come home and tell me about the lines of coke kids were doing at the lunchroom table.
Kylie says, yeah, okay, I got some friends that encourage me to party, but she says her mother does too.
My mom is an alcoholic. She's the meanest drunk I know. My mom has slapped me across the face, thrown me against walls. She would wake up in the morning at 8 and she would make us cocktails. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, she would just pass out.
Paula says, hey, I love my daughter. There is nothing I wouldn't do for her. Take a look.
I want my daughter to know that I would go to the end of the earth for her. I would do anything to save her, and that I love her more than anything.
Well, surprise, surprise. Kylie says, not so much.
My mom hates me. She wants me dead. I've always wanted my mom to be proud of me. I crave it. If I could just have her approval, then that's all I want.
Okay, now, you haven't seen her in a long time, right?
Correct.
How long?
It's been 4 months.
4 months, because you've been living with your
My dad.
Now, you say that she's been suffering from anorexia and bulimia since she was 12.
Mm-hmm.
And this just came out of the blue?
Yes, I mean, I will say, Dr. Phil, that I have struggled with weight my whole life, and Kylie has witnessed that. But by around age 12, she was hanging out with a young lady that was naturally tall and thin. My daughter was a little chubby. She went away to stay with her father for one summer, came back and was 15 pounds lighter, received a great deal of attention as a result, and it just sort of snowballed from there. She started starving herself, and then within 2 years after that, after restricting herself so severely, I think that she turned to bulimia because she was tired of the pain that the anorexia had caused.
What are you willing to do here today to create a change?
Absolutely anything.
Okay, hold that thought for just a second. What are you willing to do here to create a change?
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get my life moving forward, because I do believe that my mom is the reason. I don't blame anyone, but I'm just ready to.
You really want to change?
I want to change, but
okay.
I want to do so without my parents.
All right. You want to live on your own. You want to stand on your own.
I want control of my own life for once.
And how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, because let me tell you something. You know, you just said, I'm willing to do absolutely anything. I'm not sure that's even almost true, but I really want to know, are you willing to be brutally honest with yourself and with me?
Yes, most
Are you willing for
definitely.
me to be brutally honest with you?
I would welcome it.
I don't believe that you're willing to accept your flaws.
You think she's in denial?
I think you've always been in denial.
You think she lies to herself?
Yes.
How about you? You willing to be honest?
Absolutely.
You willing to hear the truth?
Yes.
Deal with the truth?
Absolutely.
Even with yourself?
Yes.
Okay, because you're 19 and you're saying, I want to be independent of my parents. Well, if that were true, then you would be, because you're 19. They can't make you do anything.
They think they can.
No, it isn't about what they think. It's about what you think. If you really want to be independent, you could be. And the fact that you aren't tells me you don't really want to be, or you wouldn't be living with Daddy, who we're going to talk to here in a little while.
My mom, I was shipped off there. I didn't have a choice.
Okay. You're old enough to do what you want to do. Let's see what both of you have to say about your obsession with staying thin, because there can't be two truths. There's just one version of the truth.
Kylie was 12 years old and came to me one day and was crying profusely. And I mean, she was in agony. She was so full. And I told her how to relieve herself.
And she just was like, just stick your fingers down your throat, just shove your fingers down your throat.
I personally have battled with weight my whole life. I have been on every fad diet out there, complete yo-yo dieter.
She's like queen of the eating disorders.
I never told Kylie that I had ever tried binging and purging, and she's never, of course, seen me do it.
We would go together not eating for like a day or whatever. My mom shouldn't have taught me how to throw up. She shouldn't have done that.
We talk to her a lot, we talk to you a lot, and what you say is she just developed an eating disorder. What she says is, my mother has an eating disorder. My mother taught me how to purge. Now, before you say no, and before you say yes, this is not a matter of opinion. This is an event. It either happened or it didn't.
Dr. Phil, I'll tell you exactly what happened. Again, I've struggled with weight my whole life. My goal
This is
was
non-responsive to the question. Did you teach your daughter to purge?
I did not teach her to purge.
Did you teach her to stick her fingers down her throat and cause herself to gag and vomit?
I did not teach her to do that. She came to me, like I said, and was in pain. And as a mother that seriously responds to my daughter's needs, I mean, I literally would do anything for her.
I used to hear you throwing up in the bathroom all the time.
Kylie, I never did it in front of you. I've done it. I did it in high school several times with a best friend that had bulimia.
You did it.
And then I have done it through my adult life on occasion, but it's never something I do on a regular basis. I assure you of that.
You know, I always heard you.
Did you model bulimic behavior for her?
I wasn't aware that she was aware, but if she's saying that she heard, then I honestly was not aware of that, Dr. Phil, I assure you. I did not know that she knew that.
Are you like a quiet vomiter?
No,
seriously, I'm not trying to be comical. Were you a quiet
it was
vomiter?
in the back of the house.
And she came to you and said, I feel full, and you said?
She was screaming. She was hysterical. She told me to take her to the emergency room. She was freaking out.
I said, I'm not going to school tomorrow.
You were desperate.
I was like, I'm not going to school.
I said, the only way that you will feel better immediately is if you stick your finger down your throat. By this time, she had already come to me and told me that she was sick and tired of starving herself, and that she needed food, and that she'd already gone online and looked into how to stay thin. She had friends at school that were purging, and that she was going to do that anyway.
I never said that.
You told me after that, Fat Kylie, because I told you, if I tell you how to make yourself feel better right now, I said, I don't want you to ever do it again. I said, this isn't healthy,
Oh my
Kylie.
God, so you did do it?
Pardon?
You did tell her how?
I did tell her to stick her finger down her throat that day that she came to me freaking out. Yes, I did. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't, but I did not teach my daughter.
No, but you already did sit here and say you didn't.
Well, I know, but I didn't deliberately set out to teach my daughter that habit, Dr. Phil. I didn't. She came to me in pain and agony, and I wanted to help my daughter out. That's where I was coming from.
Listen, we're really going to get to some truth here, or we're going to all go home.
I understand.
Okay? Really, because I'm not going to waste your time or mine.
I'm not lying. I feel like
Okay,
I'm
next,
being truthful.
Kylie says her dream was to be a model, but her career in front of the lens has taken what I believe is beyond a dark and dangerous turn. Find out how when we come back.
I haven't seen my mom in a couple of months, and now I'm scared to see her. Today, I knew we were going to come here, so when we were about to leave the house, I just started chugging some vodka. I just saw the vodka, and I was like, I need it.
Paula says that her daughter has been on a road of self-destruction for the last 7 years. Now her once promising modeling career has turned into every mother's worst nightmare.
My first porn shoot, I smuggled a scope bottle of vodka. First thing I did was go in the bathroom and chug that. I just wanted instant gratification and I needed money. My mom loved me when I did porn. After my first porn shoot, I called my mom and she doesn't ask how I am. She just asks, well, did they pay you? Did they pay you? She just wanted to make sure that I was paid.
She was approached by this gentleman that encouraged her to try porn. She said, Mom, what do you think of this? I said, are you kidding me? That would be the biggest mistake you could make. There would go your opportunity of any shot at modeling, not to mention the fact that you would be putting yourself at a huge risk health-wise.
Not only has my mom helped me get into porn, she didn't try to stop me.
I have never condoned her wanting to do porn. I begged, I pleaded, I did everything under the sun to try and deter that.
My mom would take me to get tested for HIV and AIDS so I could do porn shoots.
I almost caved in to actually driving my daughter to a shoot because I was convinced that this kid would not give it up.
She ended up driving me to a couple of shoots. I think she puts her needs before mine. My first porn, I made around $3 grand. When I started making that money, that was the first time that I felt appreciated by my mom. It was such a good feeling. I didn't want it to end.
I'm horrified, absolutely horrified.
Me too. I'm horrified by the whole situation.
That is an absolute lie, and you know it, Kylie Nicole. Once you were approached, you came to me.
I never told
let
you
me
it was
finish. I'm speaking, please. You came to me and you said, Mom, there's this guy online and he wants me to do porn. What do you think?
I said nude modeling, Mom. I never told
you.
I did
you
not
said
know.
Porn.
I never said that.
She was in the custom of going on photo shoots, Dr. Phil. She would go and do it. She came back one day and she was an absolute mess. She broke down and admitted to me that she had gone ahead and done it, and that was the worst day of my life. I was absolutely devastated.
But I never talked to you before that, and I never said porn.
Kylie, how can you sit there and say that? How can you lie like this?
Well, let's go over just exactly what she has said, because look, let me tell you why I agreed to do this is because I truly believe that this girl's life is at a crossroads. This is either going to go tragically bad, and she's going to go down this road of pornography and self-debasement, or somebody is going to step up here and own this situation, and this is going to get turned around. Here's what she said. My mom loved me when I did porn. When I started bringing home checks, my mom was so nice to me, like the nicest she has ever been to me, ever. She's never been that nice to me, and I don't know, it felt good, like she appreciated me for once. Not only has my mom helped me get into porn, she didn't really try to stop me. And then when I started bringing that kind of money, I hated how much she just changed her attitude towards me completely. And she really appreciated me. She would take me to get tested for HIV and AIDS and all of that so I could do the shoots. Now, a lot of that is opinion, but there is a fact in there. Did you take her to get tested for HIV and AIDS so she could have the paperwork to present to the porn shoots so she would be qualified to do them?
Dr. Phil.
That's a yes or no question.
I took her.
That's a yes or no. It's not an essay question. Answer it, and then you can explain.
I took her to one.
No, you took me to a go-see too.
That was Kylie. Okay, can we please
back up? Is that a
back
yes?
up?
And then you can explain.
I did take her. I did. But listen, I need a moment to please back up for just a second, all right? Kylie's anorexia and bulimia became so bad that she couldn't even finish high school. She couldn't hold down a job.
We're not talking about that. I am asking you if you took your daughter. Of course I am.
Well,
that's the topic for the moment. You're like trying to sack fog, lady. I'm asking you questions. Did you or did you not drive your daughter to get tested so she would qualify for porn shoots?
Not so she would qualify, so that she could be tested to make sure that she hadn't already contracted something, Dr. Phil.
No, you knew what it was for.
Kylie.
She said, this is her quote, I'm just asking you so you can refute this. You should want me asking these questions
Okay, I
because
do.
they're out there. She just wanted to know, let me read it in its entirety. It wasn't ever for my health. She wasn't concerned. She never asked questions about what the results were. She just wanted to know when my next shoot was and when I was going to get paid.
That is absolutely not true.
You took me to that because you knew that that's what they needed for me to do more
Kylie
shoots.
Nicole, would you own up to one thing, please, right here and now? And that's that you told me point blank, countless times, that this was what you were gonna do, and I couldn't do anything to stop you because you were 18 years old, and this is what you wanted. You know
Because I
as
wasn't
well
making
as I
enough
do.
money. You were gonna kick me out. What was I
Kylie,
supposed to do?
I was trying to motivate you to get a real job. How many times did I sit down and say to you, Kylie, you are better than this. This is not right. You
I've
can't
had
go
real
there.
jobs, but it never was enough to cover.
She did tell me that you said that she should get a legitimate and real job. She did admit that.
I did have jobs.
To that. And then she also said that she didn't feel that she was worth anything other than being in pornography.
The fact that she was even considering this was so absolutely mind-blowing to me. It was...
Do you have any ownership in her making the choice to be in pornography?
Oh, my God, no.
Do you go along with
Absolutely not. I fought her tooth and nail, and she wore me down. My daughter has a tremendous way of
She
being
says you
able
helped
to
her
manipulate.
spend the money.
Oh, my God, that is so not true.
She said you asked her, how much did you make on this? How much are you going to make on that you focused on the money?
You're making it sound like I sent my daughter out there to do this.
That's what she feels like. That's what she said.
Kylie, I can't understand how you would have felt that way. I mean, please, be honest, Kylie. Okay, let's stop and talk about the fact
Here, let's
that,
just stop.
yes,
Y'all
I
take
wanted...
a deep breath. I have to take a break. Kylie admits her life is a mess, but says her mother, who has an eating disorder and drinks until she blacks out, is not the role model that she needs. We'll talk about that when we come back.
My mom makes careless decisions. She's kind of crazy. She's had a threesome. She's made moves on my boyfriends. She gets drunk and like everything goes out the window. All her morals, everything.
Well, that was 19-year-old Kylie talking about her mother hitting on her boyfriends. Now, Kylie also claims that her mother has had a threesome, drinks until she blacks out, and turns into a monster that gets physically violent when she gets drunk.
My mom is an alcoholic. She's the meanest drunk I know. When my mom would drink too much, she would get physically abusive. My mom has slapped me across the face, thrown me against walls. She'll just start talking so much about me, like my daughter's just a little whore. She tells me she wishes I was dead. And then when I'd wake up in the morning and I'd show her bruises and she doesn't remember what she did. My mom has been stealing my Adderall. She cuts my prescription in half and take half of it and give me the other half, and I'm prescribed it. She takes it recreationally and she's not even prescribed it. She's my best friend, but she's also my worst enemy. I've always wanted her to be proud of me. Like, I crave it. If I could just have her approval, then that's all I want.
Well, I said this was a mess.
It's beyond a mess.
So, are you an alcoholic?
No, I'm not an alcoholic.
She says you're
I
oftentimes...
have abused alcohol.
She says you're oftentimes drunk by 8 in the morning.
That's not true.
She
Every
says...
day this past summer, are you kidding?
Kylie, I just mentioned previously
You're
that
in denial.
I'm not denying anything. I'm here to own up to exactly what happened. And you're right. This past summer, after years of what I've been through with you and after the porn came to light, I did go to a very, very dark place.
I don't want to listen to all of this. I want to know, are you an alcoholic? You say, no, but I abuse alcohol. Okay, let's call it that. Are you an alcohol abuser?
I have abused it in the
Okay,
past, yes.
I'll play that semantics game with you. So
I'm
you're an
not
abuser of
playing a
alcohol.
game.
Okay, do you take her Adderall prescription?
No, I do not take her Adderall
Okay, so she's just made that up. So she's
No,
just lying to
you-
me. So I'm just wasting my time here because I'm getting false
Mom,
information.
just own up to it.
Okay, wait, now wait a minute. Somebody's lying to me here. And let me tell you, now listen to me. Y'all listen to me. Pay attention. Don't be looking at your mother and rolling your eyes. Don't be looking at her and rolling your eyes. Look at me and listen to me. We get tens of thousands of letters of people who are sincerely, desperately wanting and needing help. Don't you dare come in here and waste my damn time with Do you hear what I'm saying? You tell me the truth. You tell me the truth or you go home. It's just that simple. Don't come in here and lie to me.
I'm not lying to you, Dr.
Now,
Phil.
do you or do you not take her Adderall prescription? That's a yes or no question. That's not an essay.
I have my own prescription. Why would I
That
need
is
to
not
take hers?
an essay question. It is a yes or no question.
I do not take her medication, Dr. Phil. I promise you that.
Somebody here's lying.
Do you want to call the doctor, Mom? Because I
Kylie!
prescribed it and you
Kylie,
are not.
Kylie.
Are you lying to me?
No.
Somebody's lying.
I'm not.
Do you think you have any contribution into the choices she's making in her life and the circumstances she is in now?
I'm sure I do, yes.
Do you get drunk and become violent with her?
I have. She's also done the same with me.
not
She's come
asking
at me
about
with
her.
knives and
No,
Not
never.
asking about her.
in Arizona, Kylie, please.
I was cutting myself. I've never come at you with a knife. I came out.
You
with
threatened to kill me, Kylie.
Are you kidding me? You're such a liar.
I am not a liar, and you know it. I believe that you want to be on your own and you want to be independent, but you can't even hold down a job. I don't see how you can take care of yourself. That's why I desperately wanted you to go live with your dad, because I knew that you and I needed a break. And
Well, speaking of Dad, Dad is here. We're going to find out where he is in all of this. Is Kylie better off at his house? I have concerns about that situation as well. Is there anywhere for this young lady to turn? Is there a soft place for her to fall, or is she better off on her own? We're going to add him to the conversation when we come back. We're trying to get to the bottom of two very different sides to the same story. 4 months ago, Paula kicked Kylie out of the house. She sent her to her father's house. Is he helping or is he contributing to the problems? Let's take a look.
Now that I live with my dad buys me alcohol.
Kylie steals liquor from my liquor cabinet.
My mom would provide alcohol for me, and he was like, this is not normal. My mom convinced him it was okay.
That was something that was sort of a norm at their house. I ended up deciding I would go ahead and bend that rule.
I'll just drink a bottle to myself and just black out every night. My dad and I smoke pot every night.
Kylie and I don't smoke pot, and we don't drink together.
My dad keeps his bong in his flower vase. He lights the bong for me sometimes because I'm not very good at it. My dad's a straight up stoner.
Dr. Phil, I'm just
How do you feel about
shocked.
where your daughter is at this point, and what do you hope for her in the future?
I was shocked and disappointed with where she's at, surprised by how naive and the choices she's made. I just want her to have a healthy, happy, normal life.
And where is your stand on her being involved in pornography?
I was shocked to find it out, and then I was even more shocked to find out it didn't just happen once.
I'm never doing porn again.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah. Why not?
I never wanted that.
Then why did you do it?
Because
you were desperate.
to kick me out because I didn't
Kylie,
have money.
quit blaming the fact that I was kicking you out on anything. You know for a fact that the only reason I ever wanted you to move out is because we were at each other all the time. It was a very, very unhealthy, ugly situation. But you know as well as I do that I never encouraged any of this behavior. I am not responsible for the choices you have made, and you are not going to pin them on me, young lady.
I'm not pinning them, but when are you
gonna
going to own
stand
up?
You are the one that needs to own up.
How much do you drink?
I don't know.
Are you drunk when you do porn shoots?
Yeah, of course. I don't.
How often do you smoke pot?
I never wanted to do porn. I hate it. I never wanted that.
How often do you smoke pot?
I just started smoking when I got to my dad's. I smoked
not
with
true.
guy friends sometimes, but that's. I bought weed once on my own, but that's
You started smoking when you were 14,
15.
15?
but not on a regular basis, just when I was with friends and they would offer it to me.
Do you smoke regular now?
At my dad's, yeah, but I mean, I've only bought weed once on my own.
Do you smoke with her?
I have.
Think that's a good idea?
No, I do not.
Why do you do that?
Well, I found her stealing it, and at least I know when she's doing it.
Train wreck, to say the least, I know.
Because you know, what it amounts to here is, if I was going to make a list of bad choices for a young lady to make, you could just get the choices that she's making, and that would give you a pretty complete list. But, you know, this isn't a Kylie problem. This is a family problem.
I agree.
This doesn't occur in a vacuum here. You know, when it's taken as a whole, and you look at all of the different choices that the two of you have made, I kind of ask myself not why she's made a lot of bad choices, but really, why not? I mean, what the hell? You know, you are making some bad choices here, but, you know, the fact is, you're very young, and that means it's real early on for you. So this early in the game, you've got a chance to really redirect some things and take a different course and really make some different choices in your life. But you need some serious help to get that done. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to talk about the best thing Kylie's parents can do for their daughter when we come back. We'll be right back.
I want to keep my mom at a safe distance because if I let her too close to me, she will just hurt me. I feel like porn is my only option. I would honestly rather live on the streets and do porn rather than live with either one of my parents.
Kylie says she'd be better off living on the streets than with either of her parents. Kylie says she's living with her dad. Her dad suffers from OCD, according to his daughter. She says it's terrifying. She's actually dropped weight since moving in with him. Take a look at this element.
My dad has the most severe OCD on the face of the earth. He has extreme rituals and routines. I can't go in the kitchen. I can't touch anything. And if you spill something, you idiot, he freaks out. And whenever I'm hungry, he's like, why? So you can just go throw it up and waste more money?
Kylie has continued to be a bulimic during the time she's lived with me. She binges and purges probably 2 to 3 times a day.
If I go downstairs and eat in the middle of the night, he wakes me up at 5 and makes me clean everything.
I'll wake up, in the morning, and there'll be a mess on the kitchen table and a mess in the sink.
Since living with my dad, I've lost quite a bit of weight because I'm honestly terrified to go in his kitchen.
Since she's moved in with her father, I'm concerned because she's lost 15 pounds.
I believe that it's possible that Paula's issues with food have rubbed off on Kylie.
I just don't feel that she's getting any better. If anything, she's getting worse.
You have issues with OCD?
I'm pretty tidy.
That'd be a yes?
Yes.
Yeah, this doesn't to be ashamed of, but it is something to acknowledge and deal with. And you think it's very definitely an issue with him, right?
Yeah.
You feel like, I've said many times that you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And you feel like your mother's not coming clean here, that she's not being honest, right?
Yeah.
What do you think that she's not being forthcoming about?
I just feel like you are trying to say that, like, I wanted to do porn, and that's never how it was.
I don't think you ever wanted to do it. I don't think that you felt you were
You don't
worthy of anything
understand how
else.
much it hurt me, but, like, you were
Kylie,
so...
I do. You came to me and cried about it, and you told me that you felt horrible, and...
Have you ever, can I interrupt you guys? Have you ever noticed that you never listen? You never listen, that whenever she starts talking, you start talking? You never listen because you want to get your message out there So as a result, you never hear what she has to say. And she's learned well because she doesn't listen to you either. Let me tell you what you haven't heard her say.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not, because perception is reality. And what she has told you, no matter how much you think it's not true, she has at least convinced herself that she felt trapped, that she didn't feel worthy of doing anything but that, and that she felt like the only time that you ever really showed her any positive regard. No, don't start thinking about what you're going to say next.
I'm not.
Oh my God, will you? Okay, we're done here. I'm going to talk to her because you don't want to talk to me. Because you are a right fighter, lady. You want to be right. You don't want to be happy. You want to be right. What I'm telling you here is she is trying to convince you that she desperately, desperately wants your acceptance. She desperately wants your acceptance. She ventured into this porn and she probably thought at first that, hey, this was kind of exotic, and she'll say she didn't, but she probably thought, wow, this is kind of grown up and exciting, and they treat them like stars, and you know, it's all glamour and there's lights and it's all of this, and it's almost like it's legitimate. But boy, does it get slimy real fast.
It's disgusting.
And now she's kind of like trapped and she just wants out. But she can't come back to you because you're so toxic she doesn't even know where to begin. You're like trying to hug a porcupine because it's all about judgment. And she, you know, with her dad, it's like, oh my God, you know, I don't know what to do with him. I'm smoking dope with him every night, and I can't go in the kitchen because he freaks out if the cup's not straight and the handle's a little off. And I don't know what to do there. I love him, but I don't know. I love her, but I don't. It's like she's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. So she don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So you're a little trapped, right?
Yeah.
You got an eating disorder, and you're a slave to that. Now, I'm willing to help you with all of that if you want help with it.
Yes.
And if you do, it takes a serious commitment.
I'll do whatever it takes.
You've got what's called a multiple diagnosis situation. You've got an eating disorder, you've got addiction problems, you've got some things that have to happen all at one time here. And it's very complex. But you know what I think? I think two things. I think you're worth it, and I think you're capable of it.
Thank you.
There's a place that I would recommend you start this. And this is my gift to you.
Thank you.
There's a place on South Padre Island down in Texas called Origins Treatment Center. And it's a nationally recognized dual diagnosis, and this is what's important, it's dual diagnosis. It'll deal with addiction, and it'll deal with your eating disorder at the same time to help you get healthy there. Now, Ben Levinson is the founder, and he's the CEO, and Ben is on the phone right now. Ben, are you there?
Hi, Dr. Phil. We're looking forward to seeing Kylie.
I think if she will come down there and immerse herself in this program on both fronts, I think she's got a chance of getting some real traction in life. Ben, will you guys grab her and embrace her and put her in this program?
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. One of the hallmarks of dysfunctional codependent families is this utter inability to get past the blame game and start to take individual responsibility and work with the truth. Kylie needs integrated treatment, and to be successful, the entire family really, Dr. Phil, needs to be individually and then collectively in recovery. And we're here to work with them towards that goal.
Well, she wants to do that. I believe she is hungry for that. True? Yeah. No pun intended on hungry. But we're going to do that. Ben, we're going to send her your way.
Kylie, we're looking forward to meeting you. We'll be here for you, and we'll walk this path with you.
Thank you.
Sound like a plan to you guys?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, advice for parents of troubled teens when we come back. If your teenager is creating self-destructive situations, then you need to do something about it. I mean, clearly. And the first thing you need to do, and you heard me talk about today, is you need to listen and talk. If they don't feel valued, if they don't feel loved, if they don't feel understood at home, they have lots of places that they can turn to get the acceptance that they so deeply need. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.